All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, we are going to be checking out a game from the East. Not the game you see on the screen right now. That's the first thing I'll talk about in a second. But the main focus of today's video is going to be a feature match from the East. This is going to be from over on the Bandai One Piece, YouTube, of Red Purple Law versus Black Yellow Luffy. Okay, that should be very interesting, and that will be the major bulk of this video, what we'll be learning from and checking out and diving into. Okay, but let me give you a quick layout for the video. Let me give you a quick layout because we do have more than just that to go over today. First up, as you can see on the screen here, we're going to be hopping over to the lab and checking out a community-submitted game of Bonney versus Black Yellow Luffy. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to knock out. Second thing is going to be what I said. That's going to be the main focus of today's video with the feature match from the East, Red Purple Law versus Black Yellow Luffy. And then we will finish off the entire video with a quick game on the sim that I recorded recently. Actually, it was a little while ago now. I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. But it was of me playing ST08 Luffy. Okay, the Luffy that whenever you KO a character, you can attach Arrested Dawn to your leader. But we'll talk about that when we get to it. Okay, so it's probably going to be a pretty short video by my standards today. But let's go ahead and hop into it. Let's not make this video any longer than it needs to be. All right, so you know what you're getting into. Let's do this, guys. First things first here. Okay, volume is off. The speed is on 2x, and we're good to go, guys. So this, what we're looking at right now, for those who are not aware, at the beginning of every video now, I review a game that was submitted by the community. If you are interested in me reviewing one of your submissions, or one of your games, all you have to do is you have to record your own game. I can't help you there, right? You have to record your own game with a program like OBS, and then from there, you can upload it to YouTube for free. YouTube is free to upload your own videos. You can even private it, private the video and everything where only someone with a link can view it. And then you would submit it to me on, like, the link to the video on Discord. And then I'll check it out from there, okay? And, this has been a really fun part of a really nice addition to what I do on this, on YouTube. So if you're interested, like I said, that's the way to do it. If you have any questions, just ask in the comment section below. All right, so here we go. We got a game of Bonney versus Black Yellow Luffy. And let's see who gets to go first here. It looks like, y'all can't see it because I do have it all hidden here for the names, but it looks like Luffy's going to go first. And, okay, so they're going to go ahead and play out a Garp. They're going to get a Sabo from the top. And then it looks, and that's an ST13007, so that's probably the little Sabo. I didn't actually get to see it, or it could be the 5-cost yellow Sabo. Okay, then they're going to swing for 6 because we just passed turn. Right here, we can rest down the Garp. Okay, that was interesting. So the player on the bottom chose not to rest the Garp. There's no reason not to do that, right? Let me go back real quick. I'm sorry, guys. Let's go. All right, so hit play. Choosing not to use the card action here to tap down the Garp. Okay. So I have to say there's no reason for you not to tap down like, you might as well tap down the Garp because you don't want to attack into the Luffy anyway. So that would have allowed you to have an attack this turn straight into Garp. But let's see, maybe they had other plans in mind. But I would consider that an inaccuracy. Okay, and we're swinging right into the Luffy. Okay, so I don't know how these games go, obviously. I have no idea who wins. I have no idea how skilled either player is, or even the deck list that they're using, or even the format they're in. I don't know if this is OP08 or OP07. But one thing I will say is, generally speaking, you don't want to give the Black Yellow Luffy life. But who knows? Let's see. Maybe this Bonney has something figured out. We'll have to see how things go. Okay, so right here, it is the Luffy's turn. This is their first 5-Dawn turn. They've played out a 2-cost Luffy last turn. Now they're going to put out the 5-cost Luffy, and they're going to go down 1 more life. Okay, very nice. And then let's see what happens here. So it is now the Bonney's turn. They have a 6-Dawn turn. They have an easy 6-Dawn play in Basil Hawkins, but that means you're not going... Okay, speaking of which, I'm sorry, hang on. We actually do have to go back. So they play out the Basil Hawkins, but now we can't use our leader effects. Hang on 1 second, though. So I just noticed something. Okay, they chose to... So the Luffy player chose to not attack here. And I know we counted out of the first attack as Bonney, but not attacking here as the Luffy seems a little bit wild to me. I would absolutely have attacked there. And I don't even know if I would have played the 5-cost Monkey D. Luffy. I would have probably just swung in with my Garp and my Luffy, because he's probably going to tap down the 2-cost Luffy at that point. Playing out the 2-cost Luffy. Sorry, guys, I got a little sidetracked there. Playing out the 2-cost Luffy is absolutely crazy in this situation, in my personal opinion. There is no reason to do it. He doesn't even know what's in his life yet, unless I missed a trigger or missed something like that. Okay, so quite a few inaccuracies going on here, guys, and we will talk about this more as when we're done with the video, once we see what all happens. So Basil Hawkins comes down, which is not bad, but it means we cannot use our leader effect. So they swung for 8. They're going to set their top life now. Okay, let's see what happens here. And they know what it is, obviously. Sabo, they're going to be at 7,000 power this turn. They have a blocker. Okay, and they're a 7,000 power leader. They're probably going to swing for 9 after attaching 2 characters to the top. Very nice. So he was not punished at all for playing out that 2-cost Luffy because he chose not to swing. And now he's coming in for a whopping 12. He's a 9,000 power leader, has 1 life. This is looking very, very bad for the Bonney player. It's not over yet, but it does look very bad. So let's see what happens here. This is a turn I would use to set up, that's for sure. Okay, and how much Dawn did we have? We had an 8 Dawn turn. 8 Dawn turn, that's a fine play what they did there, keeping one of these guys tapped down. Probably, yeah, instead of keeping the Dawn tapped down, it looks like they're going to keep the character tapped. I think in this situation, I probably would have kept the Dawn tapped down, so that way they can't follow up this turn, because they want to play Gecko Moria. And if you tap down their Luffy, they're going to use his effect first, right? And then dump the Luffy with the Gecko Moria, filling out the 2 Hioris and Garps. But let's see what happens here. I'm not exactly sure. That's an interesting play. I think even playing out the Eustace Kid would have been interesting here, like as the Bonney player, and just going about it that way. Yeah, you got to pass the turn now because you can't swing at anything. There's literally no relevant target. Okay, because remember, that's an 8,000 power Luffy. Now, right here, I think they're going to go up to 10 Dawn, correct? Oh, no, excuse me. They're only on 9 Dawn. Sorry, guys. So yeah, that was absolutely fine, keeping the guy tapped down. I thought, for some reason, I thought we were on 9 Dawn and they were about to go to 10 Dawn. I had that backwards. Very nice. 8 and a 5. You can use the Basil Hawkins here to do a 2K counter, but we're going to let it go through. Let's see what happens. Okay, they still have 1 attack they're probably going to do here. They get out the Luffy, or they get out the Garp. They're going to look for a Sabo. It's another ST13007 Sabo. I think that's the little 2-cost Sabo. I could be wrong. Okay, let's see what happens here. Swinging for 8 with a blocker. Wow, they were getting really gutsy here using a blocker like that. But, you know, now they're going to play out the Sabo. Yes, and that was the Sabo that we were just talking about. They'll play out another Sabo here in this case. You know, replacing the old one to play out the new one. Swing for 11, and now I think, okay, so I'm going to pause and say that there is probably an opportunity here for the Bonney to go for a game, right? I mean, they could try to just Hody Jones here, potentially. Just Hody Jones, tap down both of the blockers, and swing for 10 into 9, but that would be really scary. I think another option would be maybe, or no, it'd be 11 into 9. So maybe go 9 and 10 with the Rosinante. Let's see what happens. No, I'm sorry, because 2 attacks have to get through. What am I talking about? No, this is a really bad situation. Okay, so we're at the point now where we have to figure out how to win this game. And I don't know. I think playing out Eustace Kid is definitely the right, that's 100% the right start. Playing out the Rosinante, swing 6 into 6, absolutely. Somehow for some reason that Luffy was not buffed to 8,000 power. That was a play mistake. Because you have to understand, I'm sorry guys, I am going to go backwards. So I have to see when this happened. So right here, you can use both Luffys to go plus 2,000 power for the turn. So that was absolutely just a strict play mistake. Okay, sorry guys, we're fast forwarding now. Back to where we were. Swing 6 into 6. Well done. Way to punish him for that. And he can't really counter out of that because then you can swing 8 into it again with the Rosinante and go from there. Okay, so let's see what he does. Lets it go. I think that is the right call in that situation to let it go, but it should have never even happened. That was just a massive play mistake. Now, 8 into 8, I counter out of this because there is no more attacks you can swing into the board. Very good. He does counter out of it. Uses the leader effect to, uses Monkey D. Luffy, the character, to draw a card from trashing the top life card. It looks like he's probably going to try to go for lethal here. Yep, he's going to pop the Rosinante. Oh, no, excuse me. He can't really go for lethal, quote-unquote, because you have the Eustace Kid down. Swing 10. Tap down a character here. So hear me out. There may have been an argument to tap down the Sabo. There may have been an argument to tap down the Sabo, but that's still fine for now. Swinging 10 into 8. That's really weird that he'd put the ace there and not buff his guy. Okay, let's see what he does. So now he's going to play out a 2-cost ace, right? And throw out the ace, or is he just going to sit on it? He might just sit on it. So 11 into 8. Now you can just give him the Rosinante, or excuse me, the Basil Hawkins. Or counter out. Yeah, I mean, he has the counter power to counter out there. And now maybe we try to go for game. Man, that was wild. So now he is only a 2,000 power plus leader, so he's only a 7,000 power leader. It's time to start swinging 7s. Absolutely. He should counter out of that one because he can. 8 into 7. Never, ever the right play, guys. Like, try to go 9 into 7, so that forces 2 cards bare minimum. But, hey, it looks like you're in a position where I don't know if you can lose, to be honest. Maybe you can. I'm not sure. Swing for 7 into 7. He is going to counter out of that. And then... So, before I had committed that, Dawn, I definitely would have at least used the Eustace Kid first to swing for 9. But let's see what happens. 7 into 7. He can use the blocker. I think we're trying a Hody Jones KO here. Oh, yeah, I think we're trying Hody Jones here. I think we're going to try to do Hody Jones. But if that was the case, why not? Well, hey, I guess you can use it now. Wait, so you have... Wait, how much Dawn has been allocated? 3 Dawn. You have 7 Dawn left. Why not just tap down the Sabo to swing for 8 and then 8 with the Hody Jones? You see what I'm saying? Because now, if that was a 2K counter in hand, this is his chance to win. Now, luckily, it was a Gecko Moria, thank goodness, you know. But you see what I'm saying? Like, okay, in the situation right here, you're going to play Hody Jones. You've already determined. You left 7 Dawn open. You've determined you're going to play Hody Jones. I would have already played it now, right? Like even right now, like, okay, like before this Basil Hawkins, right? Hang on. Yeah, what on earth? So once... All right, so that one's fine to swing for 7 because you know he's going to counter out of that more than likely. That's perfect. Now, right here should have been the 7K attack if that was the line of play you were trying to do where you wanted to play out the Hody Jones. It's attached to Bonney and then use the remaining 7 to tap down his blocker, and then you can just go 7, 8, or 7, 7, 8, 8, 8. You know what I mean? But hey, it worked no matter what, so we got the job done. I have to wonder when this guy had the Hody Jones, or excuse me, he had, what was the last card? Sorry guys, let me go to the win screen. Right here. Whoop, hang on. Right. Gotta pause it. And swing. And tap. And swing. Boom. Okay. So he has a Gecko Moria in his hand. So one thing I'm really confused about is right here, at this turn right here. Actually, this is your turn where you took out that guy. That was really well played. You caught him slipping with that mistake. He lets that... Okay. So in that situation, we know... Actually, unless he drew, what's his name for the turn? What's his name? Goodness gracious, Gecko Moria for the turn. Then I would have just blocked Sabo there. And okay, even in that situation, all you have to do, smash in with whatever you want to, you know, on the Luffy side of the board, and then you just play out the Gecko Moria and use the 2-cost characters on whatever you need to replace on the board to get everything back you needed. You know what I mean? And then you could fix your hand with the Sabo. Very confusing play by the player on the top, and there were a few things on the bottom, too, that I didn't quite understand. And you guys tell me if I missed it. Like on the very first play here. Okay, pass turn, Luffy gets to go. Now, when he goes to, you know, so now it's the Black Yellow Luffy's turn. Why would you not tap down the Garp? You know what I mean? Like is there an actual logic to that? Because I would personally just knock out the Garp this turn, because I don't like giving Black Yellow Luffy his life this early. I want to establish my entire board first. But hey, like I said, a win is a win, but I do want to do these, whenever we do these videos, guys, let me bring up the little, I like to mess around with this little chess meter here. We do want to try to focus and analyze what we could do better. You know what I'm saying? It's not a matter of, like, me trying to, like, oh, yeah, you won, but you got lucky or something like that. It's nothing like that at all. But in this specific game, I think there was a little bit better way to go about this. But like I said, a win is a win. I'm not faulting you for that. That's awesome. But I do think there were a few inaccuracies for both players. But, you know, who knows who the player's on top. But the player on the bottom at least submitted the video. This turn, I would have knocked out the Garp, and I would have kept this guy... I would have kept his life high, and I would have developed my board very, very slowly and very, like, not methodically, but, like, very slowly and steadily, right? I would have just kept going wider and wider and wider with the bigger characters, and then you pretty much just have a free win. Because for those who are not aware, Bonney is highly favored into Black Yellow Luffy. So there's no reason to give him any extra advantage by getting his life low early on, where he can start generating the advantage in that way. Because I will say the guy at the top made quite a few play mistakes as well. Okay, so that's it for that game. That was a really fun one. Hang on one second, guys. Let me get set up. Move my head back down to here. That was a really fun game. I really enjoyed this segment that we do now, where we go over these games. And now, let me go take off the black screen and take off the overlay. There we go. So now we have a game. This is a red-purple Law versus black-yellow Luffy game from the East. I got to make my head way smaller here. Let me go full screen. The volume is off. The speed is on 2x. Quality's up. Let's do this, guys. So this is from the East. I got to pause one more time to get my head up to where that is. There we go. So this is a game from the East of Red Purple Law versus Black Yellow Luffy from OP08. I always want to mention that it's from, you know, a different format from what we're in currently. And this one, actually, let me look at one more thing. This was streamed 5 days ago. So I think I said like 2 weeks ago in the comment section, or excuse me, in the intro to the video. But no, this video was actually, or this tournament was actually 5 days ago. All right. So I'm going to link this in the comment section below for anyone who's interested in watching this at their own leisure, so you can check it out for yourself. And there's a lot of games on here, guys. Like here's a, you know, this is the one we're about to watch. They go over a bunch of spoilers down here. It's all kind of stuff, guys. It shows all the cards coming out, a bunch of spoilers and a bunch of really good matches. Now we can actually get in the game, guys. Sorry about that. Here we go. All right. Make some predictions right now, guys. Make some predictions right now. Who do you think's going to win, Red Purple Law or Black Yellow Luffy? Who do you think is... Oops, it had to catch up there. Sorry, guys. I don't know what just happened. I think they had a problem with the camera there. That was weird. Okay. Or actually, maybe it was just YouTube trying to catch up. I have no idea. Who do y'all think's going to win this game, guys? Red Purple Law, Black Yellow Luffy. And on top of that, who do you think is favored? I think most people say Red Purple Law is slightly favored, but Black Yellow Luffy definitely can compete against it. I should have paused first for the hands. Let me say real quick what the hand is for the player on the right for the Black Yellow Luffy who got to go second. They're going second. They have the 5-cost Luffy they just searched up with Garp. They have a, it's very hard to see it, but they've got a Sabo, it looks like a Flampe, a Gecko Moria, an Ace, and then I can't quite tell what that card is in between the Ace and the 5-cost Luffy. I believe it's a 2-cost character. Then over on the left here for Red Purple Law, let's see what they have. Okay, they have 2 Black Marias. They have a Sanji, the 2K counter blocker Sanji, Gordon, Queen, and Eustace Kid. So pretty decent hands from both players. I actually think there's no Reiju in the hand of the Law player just yet, and he's just going to pass. So this is a good thing. We just... Okay, so real quick, look, he's saying... I think he was saying get your Dawn first. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, and I can't remember. I think it's refresh, Dawn, draw. I think it's in that way, or maybe it's draw, Dawn. I can't remember. Whatever the case is, most people don't care about, since it's on the actual, since it's on, like, you know, the big screen here. It's the game that's featured. They want everything to be in the correct order. Now, anyway, back to the game itself, though. For the Red Purple Law player, remember, we were just talking about this in the feature match. It is very, very wise to not attack into Black Yellow Luffy. And the reason Black Yellow Luffy is starting to fall off, in my opinion, as far as like games go, and as far as you know, not games, but like tournament results go, is people know how to play around it now. They're becoming more consistent because they're playing correctly into Black Yellow Luffy. They know what to expect. Okay, so we're going to swing 5 at face here, which I do agree with. Like, Black Yellow Luffy needs to be an aggressive list. Go 5, go 6, give him a 2K counter. He has another Black Maria, and he got a Zoro from life. All right, so draw, Dawn. And then he got a 7-cost, or excuse me, he got a 4-cost Law that can pop your hand if you have 7 or more cards in hand. So, in your opponent's hand. And that is going to be really nice here, I think. In fact, he's probably, he's going to play it out first. I'm surprised he didn't play out Eustace Kid and cheat it out. You know what I mean? But I guess he doesn't want to go too far back in Dawn, and he doesn't want to attack the Luffy, so why not just use the leader attack into the Garp and save Dawn that way? So he's going to Dawn -1, and now let's see what he gets. Choose these 2 cards, and he gets it was a Makino in hand. That was the card I couldn't see, a Makino, and the 5-cost Luffy that we already knew about. And that was revealed with Garp, I believe. Okay, so we're on a 7 Dawn turn, or excuse me, a 6 Dawn turn for the Black Yellow Luffy player. 8 is going to be, you know, 10 Dawn turns what they want to get to at 0 life so they can do the whole combo. Flampe, it's time to start drawing cards from life. They get the 1-cost Event Searcher, and then they got a 2-cost, it looks like a 2-cost Luffy, I believe. It's hard to tell. And in this situation here, they're just going to swing for 5, which means they want to use all remaining 4 Dawn for another play. Or is it, excuse me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Dawn for another play. Gives him a 1K counter, gives him the Eustace Kid of all cards. Very interesting. Okay, so we're going to tap down 5. Probably play out the Sabo. I think we had a Sabo. No, we had an Ace. Interesting. So I think the idea here with the Ace is he's baiting out the Gordon attack, or excuse me, the Gordon combo with the leader, trying to get him to use the power reducers from his hand so that he can play out the Sabos and not lose those. Because Sabo is a card you want to cycle out, you know, multiple times through the game, and if they bottom deck it, you can't do that. 7,000 power character, though, that is a big character, and he does have the answers. Let's see what he decides to trash. He trashes the Zoro with the Queen. So draw 2, trash 1, does that. So leader effect to -3 there. and then, you know, play out the Black Maria, and then he's going to get all the Dawn back straight to his opponent and pass the turn back. That Black Maria card, a lot of people are talking about it. Let me pause for a second. I do not believe that card was intended for Red Purple Law. And if it was, that is concerning. But long story short, that guy just went down to 2 Dawn, just went right back up to 6. You know, is that what he's at? Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 6, because that's what his opponent was at. Was at 6 Dawn. Now he's going to be an 8 Dawn turn. But yeah, that Black Maria card is something else, guys. 2K counter as well. Hard to beat that. Okay, so now we are on an 8 Dawn turn for the Black Yellow Luffy player. Let's see what he can get going here. He still has 3 cards left in his life. He's going to do a top 5 search. Remember, guys, let's see what he sees here. Okay, he sees the 2 cost ace. It looks like another 5 cost. It looks like, I don't know what that 5 cost card is that is in his hand. It looks like he's going to grab the ace regardless. It's a 5 cost 7K, so it's got to be another ace as the other yellow card in hand. Pause. So when it comes to playing Black Yellow Luffy, you can't do anything when you have life. Unless it is the life of a, unless it's a card that you can actually, use like these 5 cost characters that you can cheat into play from life and buff your leader. But we don't know what's in his life yet. We have not used a Makino. We have not used any kind of effect that reveals life. So we have no idea what is in our life. And in order to play Black Yellow Luffy and start comboing off, you have to go down to 0 life. It is of utmost importance. The deck doesn't work otherwise. It doesn't, at least this version. Who knows about future versions, guys? I am trying to mess around with a version of the deck, spoiler warning for the future. I'm trying to work out a Black Yellow Luffy deck that does not rely on this whole wombo combo package. Okay, I'm not saying it'll be better than what's going on here. I'm just saying I would like to mess around with something else. I think there's always more than one way to build a deck. Okay, we're going to swing 7. I like that. Just use your leader first. You never know what could happen. Just use, or not leader, use your character first, because you never know what could happen to the field. And he gets the 4 cost Trafalgar Law that can do minus 2,000 power for the turn on play. Then he's going to swing 7 more, and it looks like he's going to plop down a 5 cost character here. Uses the 2K counter with a 6 cost blocker. Plays out the Sabo. He's got to do it here. And by the way, the Red Purple Law player has been holding those Gordons. He had 2 Gordons and an Otama. If he wanted to get rid of the Law, he would have already done it. But it is what it is. That is the sign of a good player, knowing what you need your removal for. Let me talk about that for a second too, guys. If you're a newer player or a veteran player, whatever, you need to know your matchups very well if you want to do good in this game, because there's a reason he didn't want to bottom deck the ace. It doesn't matter to the Red Purple Law player. In fact, he can just get around it by using a 6K blocker with a 2K counter. That's a 1-card answer. However, Sabo is basically the win condition for Black Yellow Luffy. For those who are not aware, Sabo is one of the absolute key ingredients to winning the game, because you're fixing your hand, you have a blocker to hide behind, and then it can turn sideways if you need to as well when you're ready to go for lethal. But if you start bottom decking the Sabos, well, guess what? That 2-cost Sabo in his hand, all of a sudden it's worthless. It doesn't do anything if you have no card to get it back with, or to get back with it. Okay, hopefully that made sense. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments section below. All right, so here we go, guys. Untap for the, they're going to unrest here, draw, Dawn, and let's see what happens here for the Law player, for the Red Purple Law player. They are on 8 Dawn this turn. That is a lot of Dawn. That's a scary turn. And look what we have in hand here. He has Gordons. He has -2. He has 2 Gordons and an Otama and a Law, so he can do minus 2,000, minus 2,000, minus 3,000, minus 3,000. He can do whatever he wants to this turn. There's no limitation to what this Law player can remove right now. Okay, let's see what he decides to do. I think the right play here is just to get rid of the Sabo, like I was saying. I think it's just the absolute go-to play. Let me make sure it looks like the quality's messed up a little bit. Okay, no, it's good now. Sorry, guys. It looked like it was getting kind of fuzzy. So let's see what he does. This is okay, so he swings 7 into the... Okay, so that was a play mistake in my personal opinion there. Swinging 7 into the ace gave the Black Yellow Luffy player a chance to use his Sabo and to get it in the trash. That's where you want that card, so you can get it again next turn with the or try to get it back later in the game with the interaction we already know about that we talked about. So now, okay, this is an easy one, minus 3,000, and then we're gonna Dawn -3. We're gonna bottom deck that card, and now you don't have a Sabo in your trash unless I missed it. He does not have a Sabo in his hand or his trash. Okay, so then he's going to play out with the leader effect. He bottom decked a 3,000 power less card, the Sabo, and then cheated out a cost 3 or less character. And since he had 2 or more Dawn less than his opponent, he could play out the 6 cost Sanji. Now he is swinging with Black Maria. Okay, returning 2 Dawn at the end of turn because use the effect to go back up to 8 Dawn. And here we go. 10 Dawn turn for the Luffy, but he has 2 life left. That's the issue there. He's actually baiting the Black Yellow Luffy into swinging into Black Maria because that card's no longer useful. It's already served its purpose. Okay, and let's see what happens here. We're going to play out the Flampe. I do like that. And this is where a Hiyori is very nice because you could set your life card and then start going around that and try to leave 1 life open. Excellent. He has the Hiyori. He's going to pull back. Oh, and it was a Luffy too. It sure would have been nice if he could have known that. How cool would that effect been? How cool would that effect have been, however you say that, if Black Yellow Luffy had a way to look at your top life card instead of having to use these little 2-cost characters and 1-cost 2K counters and stuff? That would have been so cool. Okay, so he actually replaces it with the Luffy that can pop a 4 or less, pops the 4 or less to draw a card with it as well. Now he can attach 2 with his leader, and he'll have 2 Dawn left for the turn. Let's see what he does here. Or yeah, he'll have 3 Dawn left after attaching 2, excuse me. And he will trash a card from hand. He doesn't have access to a Sabo unless he just drew it. And I didn't see him draw one. We're about to find out. Yeah, no Sabos, just bad news bears right here. So it's going to be, okay, the ace, very nice. He'll at least be able to attack with that because his opponent's at 2 or less life. Swing for 8 into, is this face or Black Maria? I think it's face. Going face is the right call here. Okay, this will probably eat up a blocker. If I had to guess, this might be a blocker. Actually, excuse me, no, he'll probably try to go for lethal next turn. What am I talking about? Yeah, so take that, swing for like 11 or whatever that might have been, and now you leave the 1 character in your life because your leader is a 9,000 power leader this turn, and you're good to go. Okay, you have 1 life and 9,000 power in your leader, and right now he currently has 6 cards in hand, 2 of which are Gecko Morias. So this is looking very good for the Black Yellow Luffy player. But it's not over yet. So swing 7 into there. You absolutely let this go. I wouldn't even hesitate. There'd be no hesitation. I would just let this go. It looks like he's going to counter out. He's counting up some cards in his trash. Interesting. Very, very interesting here. He saves it. Okay. Because remember, guys, if he lets that go, you have to swing 9,000 into the leader just to get an attack through. So he would have to turn his blocker sideways, and then, by the way, pause. Yeah, so now he's going to lose it. That was well played by the Red Purple Law player. He's just, I feel like the guy on the left is just playing this guy on the right, unfortunately, because now you just minus 3,000, and then he'll play out the 4-cost, what's his name, Law, and bottom deck this ace. And does he have another ace in the trash or in his hand? That was his chance. Let me say it like this, guys. Just like with the Sabo, or just like with the turn prior, it's like this was his chance to get the card into the trash. Like he had the chance to get the Sabo into the trash. Like, take those opportunities when you get them. But here we go. It looks like he's going to do minus 3,000, like I said. And then he's going to play out, or he's just going to attack into it. Wow. So he's swinging 6 into 4. So he's saying you can have it in your trash. Very interesting. I'm very confused. I'm not going to lie, guys. That's a very interesting play there. I'm not saying it's the wrong play, but it's very interesting. And he's going to draw 2, trash 1 with Queen. He's got double Kid and Killer in hand now. But it looks like, I feel like every time I see one of them like getting ground, then they kind of like throw it away by doing something totally random, totally different. But hey, these guys are, look, the guy on the left is 7-1, and the guy on the right is 6-2. You can see it above their pictures. So these guys are very good players, obviously. And hey, they must see the game through a different light than I do. Nothing wrong with that. And I will say I don't have as much experience as these guys when it comes to playing these decks. I have not had a main deck to play since Black Yellow Linlin, and now I just play everything. I don't have time to dedicate because of the channel. But I have been thinking lately, pause, one more thing, guys. I have been thinking lately I might be dedicating to a deck very soon here. Red Yellow Sabo, guys. That might be the new one. In fact, I'm just going to, it is. All right, spoiler. It is the next deck I'm going to fully dedicate to going forward, I think. Okay, so yeah, like we already knew, and since the okay, the Red Purple Law player, let him get those cards or let him have the ace in the trash. That's the really weird part for me. So right here, yeah, you attach. I don't know what this guy's thinking about. There is no thought to be had here. You attach 2 to your leader. You trash a card from hand. You go up 2 life of the 5-cost characters. Make sure the bottom one is like a Luffy and the top one is ace. You play out the ace. You start smashing into life. This is just pure, rinse and repeat. This is just standard Luffy right now. Okay, so he's going to swing 7 into life. Okay, block 2K counter. Your turn. And now we're going to smash in for 11 or whatever that is. That's going to be a blocker, or take it. Yep. and gets a Gordon or a max raise. And now I think you pop the Luffy. Interesting. This is so... Okay, I don't quite get some of these plays. So I would have actually just used the Luffy there to pop that Black Maria and draw a card. Get another card in hand to counter out with if I need it, because I don't know what my opponent's trying to do here. But that's okay. There's still I'm sure there's still a lot of game left here. So right here, 10 Dawn turn for the Law. He can do anything he wants to. He's got a 5-cost blocker. He can even bunker up if he wants to here. And that's another thing I was trying to say too, is like, okay, now you're giving him a smaller target to attack into with turning the ace sideways, which you need to do, by the way. You do need to do that. But I'd rather just keep, because he has another Gecko in hand. He could have gone back up to 5 cards this turn. He could have even taken that card from the trash if he needed to. Or, excuse me, from his life. He could have just had that go to the bottom of his deck if he needed to. Because he'd have another ace in his trash from popping it. But he's going to play out the Queen first. Dawn -1, draw 2, trash 1 with Queen effect. Let's see what he got. He got a Reiju, and the 4-cost blocker Law is not as good at this point in the game, but it is still a blocker. But honestly, it's the only blocker that he can pop as a Black-Yellow Luffy player. He will probably get rid of the... okay, well, he does have 2 Kitten Killers. I was going to say he'll probably get rid of the Trafalgar Law, but hey, it is still a blocker. Okay, we'll see what happens here. Pay 1, raise max. Going to use this on Luffy. Yep, this is why you pop the card. There's no reason to keep it alive. Or there's no reason to keep it on the field. Now it's going to be bottom decks. He can't even use it anymore. So that is, you know, again, it's just a rough situation to be in. But hey, that's all right. Now he's going to swing. Wait, what just happened? Okay, sorry. So he cheated out the 4-cost Trafalgar Law and lowered the power of the 7,000 power ace to 5 and swung into it for 5 with the leader. Now he might just, I don't know. I think he has less than or equal Dawn than his opponent. They have the same Dawn. So I think he can just play out Reiju here. Let's see what he does. Pay 4. Yep, replacing the Black Widow after using the effect. Go down to 10 Dawn because you're already at 10 Dawn. Draws 2 cards with Reiju. And here we go. Your turn. He is sitting behind a wall of blockers. The red-purple Law is. So swinging for 9 at leader. This will probably get a blocker. I don't know why not. I mean, I guess he could counter out if he wants to, because he has a he does have Black Maria, and no, maybe he can't counter out. I can't quite see his hand fully. Play this out. Yep, get back the Luffy, get back the ace. Going up to 9,000 power. Use this effect. Popping the 4-cost guy there. It didn't matter if it was the Reiju or the red-purple, or the red Law or the purple Reiju. It doesn't matter. It didn't matter in that case. All right, let's see what he does. He's looking through his trash. He's about to use his leader effect. And this is a good point for the Black-Yellow Luffy player to be in, where they always have 1 life left and 9,000 power. Swing for 7 at life. This will force a block plus 2k counter. Okay, block 2k. Easy. Yep. And now swing for 11. I think, yeah. I was going to say, you can swing at the Sanji or face. It's going to get met with a blocker in whichever way you do it. Okay, so how does Red-Purple Law solve this equation here? There's no blocker to get through, and they have 9,000 power and 1 life with 4 cards in hand. Now, there is 1 brick in hand. It looks like there's a 1k counter. So, a Flampe 2k counter. Is that a Hiyori 2k counter, a Garp, and then a ace in the hand of the Black-Yellow Luffy player? So, I mean, he actually has quite a bit of gas to get out of any attack he wants to. But I think this is the turn you have to commit, because you're not getting through all of these attacks next turn. Whoa. Okay, so how much was that? That's going to be boom, boom, 2k, 1k, because it was a Sanji. So that was a swing for 11. So I think the game's over now. I think the game is over. I think the player on the left, the Black-Yellow Luffy player has won, because he wanted to cheat out. Hang on. Swing 7. He's still going to play, of course. Swing 7 into... Just let him have it, man. Oh, gosh. Okay. Well, I guess that's fine, because all he can do now is play out a... Okay. We got to do some math in a second here. 12... pause. Okay, so he was at 9. 2, 4... He had 5 to get to 13, or to get to 14. So I do think there was actually a slight play mistake there. I think he should have taken that first hit to lose that top life card, and then the player on the left would have Dawn -4 to swing all in with a Kid and Killer for, like, it would have been 7 plus 5 is 12, and then he could have gotten out with 14, and then he would have won because his opponent is completely tapped out. But that's okay. I think he could still win in this way as well. -3, play out a blocker, your turn. But I don't think there's going to be a way to get out of this. You just go, yeah, you go 9, you go 9, you go 15. Boom, GG. So very nice. So the Black Yellow Luffy player was able to win. Let's get the winner screen on there. Very nice. Good game by him. Way to stay composed even after some plays that I would consider a little bit risky. Like let's just go back a little bit. I want to go to the beginning of the game and kind of really fast forward through this really quickly. Okay, so it was around here. Hang on, it was right before here, wasn't it? No, it was not. Sorry. All right, I'm gonna fast forward really quickly, guys, so we can like check out what I'm trying to say. So there was a situation right here where, okay, swing 7 at face with the ace. That's fine. And then he plays out the Sabo, right? Yeah, so he gets Sabo to the field. Now, here's where I was talking about. Right here, watch, he swings for 7 into the ace. Well, a very common play to do with Red-Purple Law is they attach 2, which means, guess what? Think about your next play. Pay 1 for Gordon, use the Gordon to -3,000 power character, and now with the 3 Dawn that has been used for the turn, bottom deck what you wanted to. And right here, swinging 7 into the Sabo, it's like, okay, or excuse me, into the ace, I personally would just block with Sabo, because now my Sabo's in the trash, and I can go about my turn that way. But instead, he actually just let it go completely, doesn't block with the Sabo at all, just lets the ace go to the trash, and then he gets punished for it here. Use the 1, like I said. 3 Dawn has been used this turn. 2 on the leader and 1 for the Gordon. Now you -3,000 to the 6,000 power character. You use the 3 Dawn that you use this turn. It goes to the bottom. You bottom deck the character. It's a total punish. But hey, like I said, these guys have probably played this matchup so many times in their testing and versus their teammates and their friends and whatnot, that he was like, hey, no, this is exactly how I want to do it. Really well played there. There was one other situation that I thought was a little bit shady. I think it was on this turn right here. 1 second, guys, where he swings for 8. That's fine. It was. I believe it was right here, where it was like, okay, swing 7 into the ace. And right here, what he does is he actually 1K counters out. Remember, this is the second time that happened. And I thought for sure. So let me tell you what I would be doing here if I was the player on the left, the Red-Purple Law player. For me, it's a no-brainer. Now, okay, pause. He has a Gordon. He has the 4-cost ace in hand. So I would play out the Gordon, -3,000, play out the ace, or not the ace, excuse me, the Law, -2,000 more, bottom deck it, and play out something else from hand, like anything else from hand. I think he has a 3-cost, what is that? No, that's no Tama. Play out the, what's his name, the Zoro. But instead he attacks it, and now it's like, okay, well, I can't really defend anymore. Sure, I will put it back in my trash, and now I will bring back that ace every single turn for the rest of the game until I beat you into submission. And that's what happened. That's literally what happened. Now, yeah, of course, he could always draw another ace. It happens. But why not just get rid of these answers as you get to them? Because if I'm not mistaken, someone correct me if I'm wrong, that was the only ace in the trash. He does draw an ace. Maybe it's even this next turn. Let me see. Hang on. Let's see what he draws for the turn. Okay. And pass. Let's see what he gets. Draws a card. He gets a Hiyori. Yeah, so that was the only ace he had access to in the entire anywhere at the time. The rest were in his deck. So it's like, okay, hey, I'll tell you what, I'll just keep bringing the ace back over and over and over again. And that's what he did, and that's how he ended up winning the game. That ace seems very strong into Red-Purple Law if it's not dealt with like bottom decked or something. And it's hard to bottom deck because it's a 7,000 power character. Okay, then he does that, and then everything else seemed pretty textbook, very well played by both players, and then the Black-Yellow Luffy player was just in the position. This is the position you want to be in as a Black-Yellow Luffy player, and I'm not talking about the board state. Yeah, obviously you want a full board, that goes without saying, but here's what I'm trying to say. Look at like the nuanced situation here where, yes, he is a 9,000 power leader. Yes, he has characters on the board, but what else does he have? He has 1 life left over. When you have that 1 life cushion, it makes a world of a difference. It takes your whole game to the next level, and always try to set up that 1 life cushion when you can. Sometimes you can't, but when you can, it is a game-winning type of situation. Okay, well, that was it for that game, guys. That one was a lot of fun. We do have one game to check out on the sim real quick. We got a quick little fun game for the sim. Let me go full screen with this. Bring my face back over to here, and then we'll check it out on the on the actual sim. We'll check out the deck list. Speed is at 2x. We're good to go. All right, let's do this, guys. Here we go. So this is against Purple Yellow Pudding, Black Luffy. This is ST08 Luffy, I believe. I believe it's ST08 Luffy. And guys, notice the version I'm running. It's very Navy heavy. This is basically Navy Luffy right here. As crazy as funny as that is. Okay, so right here I don't really have a great play. I mean, I guess I could play out the Rebecca if I want to and like get back the TCG. It's not the worst play in the world. And I might do that. I'm really considering it. I'm like, man, do I really want to do this? I'm like, you know what? Maybe I do just plop this card down, just develop the board, because you don't want to swing. Okay, pause. Like the pudding player, if I would have swung in here, they're about to go to 6 Dawn, then they could play out the Katakuri, the 6-cost Katakuri, that turns their life card face up, and then they can generate more Dawn in that way. So if I'd swung again and took them down to 3 life, then it would have changed everything, and they could have ramped to 10 one turn faster. So there you go. That's exactly what I wanted to play around, even though I attacked already. Okay, counter out like that. I blocked with my Rebecca to save the Brook there, just in case. And I'm on a 6 Dawn turn now. I'm on a 6 Dawn turn, but right now I think I just want to put the pressure on, because I have already messed up their next turn. Like, I already messed up turn 4, turn 4 10-cost Linlin. So I'm kind of fine with just like establishing my board here and just going about it this way. Just kind of poking them a little bit. So they're on a 9 Dawn turn. Let's see what they got. Okay, 7 into 4. I could 2K counter out of this with my blocker. But if I do that, then they get to use pudding and swing again. I decide that's the right play. Let's see what they do. Because now they can swing. I don't like that play looking back. In fact, I kind of feel like it was a play mistake. Because how do I say this? Excuse me. So now I need to just fully commit and 2K counter out. Yeah, since I already committed to that. Yeah. Okay, and it ended up paying off. I feel like they kind of did that in a weird way, because they could have ramped a Dawn and seen what their life was, even though I guess, maybe it doesn't matter. They'll be at 10 Dawn next turn anyway, but then they could have played the Flampe on top afterwards, and they could have drawn a card they might have wanted. Okay, but not a big deal. So right here, I have a few options. I don't really have a lot of great options, but I think what I want to do here, it'd be really nice to establish one of these bigger bodies. If I swing for 4, I believe I'm on 8 Dawn. So swing for 4 here. No, Gecko first. Okay. So pause. What I was going to say was what I could have done here is just -1, like swing with Brook and -1 the Katakuri, and then just play out the Sabo. Because it's still an 8-cost 9K that pops a 5 or less, but then trashing a card from my hand would have been pretty rough. Okay, so I think I just choose not to get another character. I just get the Rebecca that snags back a 2K counter, and then I'm going to swing 5 at life and just pass the turn here. All of my cards are not active. Excuse me. All of my cards are active, so nothing's rested. They have to attack into my life here. They have to give me cards here. Okay, but I am deciding how I want to do this, like which life I do want to take. 7. Okay, so they told me they want to use 8 Dawn this turn. They're telling me they want to use 7 or 8 Dawn this turn, because it's going to be a 7-7-8 or a 7-7-9 attack. They have 8 Dawn, so I'm assuming they're going to Katakuri, bounce my Gecko back. Yeah, very standard play, very solid play there by my opponent. And this is a pretty decent game so far. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. What I really need is cost reduction. If I had cost reduction, I could do some pretty crazy stuff here. So I think I am going to finally do the Sabo play here. Just play out the 8-cost Sabo, pop this 5-cost character, trash something in my hand. Probably I have all 2K counters, so I'll trash a 2K counter. I'll keep the Borsellino in case I need a blocker, smash in and go about things that way. Using the Sabo allowed me to attach a Dawn to my leader from his effect, and then I swung for 7 in there with the last Dawn. But I would have much rather had a way to KO two characters this turn. Okay, so they're going to swing 8 into me. That's fine. 8 into my... Okay. Am I going to counter out? That's crazy. I don't know what I'm saving here, guys. I'm not sure what I'm trying to save. But okay, we did it. Again, I think I should just be letting the Brook go. But at the same time, doing these little games with him, I've been able to save it each time. Swing 10 into 8. Let's see if he can get out of that. And I still have 5 Dawn left if I need to. And I can just go 10 more into it. If I need to. 8 into 8 here. I'm trying to get his entire hand. 8 more into 8. Let's see if he has it. There we go. That was a 2K counter. He has 1 card left in life. I have a blocker. Let's see what he does. Swing for 12. I just take this one. I'm fine with that. Swing for 9. Take this one. And now I'm trying to say to him, like, okay, you have to do exact perfect math here. So 9, so pause. I look at what he has left in his... He has 6 Dawn left. So that's going to be for an 11, right? He wants to swing for 11 here. So I could block and go 2, 4, up to... No, I can only go to 10. So I have to counter out of this one. Okay, so right here, I should just counter out of it. So 2, 2, 1. I don't have a choice. And now he can swing for 11 if he wants to. I'll just use my blocker and try to go about things that way. Oh, swinging 9 into that is kind of interesting. I probably could have tried to let that go if I wanted. Okay, so right here, I think I just decide, all right, you know what? He's been using 2K counters. We're going to swing 5 and risk it. He takes it. Let's see what kind of trigger he might get. I'm just waiting for him to pick his trigger or not. That's what we're waiting on. And he tapped down my what's his name? My brand new. Not worried about that. So if he couldn't block the 5, he can't block the 7. He won't be able to block the 9. He won't be able to block the the 13. GG. So that was a fun one there. I do think this leader has some potential. There is some potential there. And I guess saving my Brook that whole time did end up helping, because he was like kind of part of the winning combination there at the end. So I guess if you have the counter power, maybe there's something to be said about that. But anyway, long story short, this is the build that I was running. I think there's something there. I don't think it's great yet. Yeah, this was ST08. I even called it Blaffy ST08. There's a lot of KO power now in the game with Brook. We have the T-Bones. We have the, this is like a straight Navy package, by the way, guys. Notice that? Like, we've got T-Bone, Kuzan, Suru, Brand New, Isho, Porcelino, Tashigi, Hina, Helmeppo. It's the whole squad, right? It's the whole Navy squad coming in to help out with this package here. Because for those who are not aware of what this leader does, he's a starter deck leader, 5,000 power, 5 life. On your turn, when a character is KO'd, give up to one of your rested Dawn cards to this leader. That's not a once per turn effect. So in other words, like if you pop, like say I pop 2 characters with Sabo or Lucci. Lucci's another card I should consider. If I pop 2 characters with Sabo, well then I get 2 Dawn to my leader. So there, that is pretty solid. Okay, what else? And that is just on your turn, but that's the only time it matters anyway. Dawn only affects you on your turn. Okay, I think, honestly, like I said, I think this list has some potential. I didn't see any of my Hinas, any of my Helmeppos, or my Kuzans for that matter, to help reduce cost, because that's my only way to really get Brook online, or even other cards, even cards like T-Bone. Right? It's my only way to get these cards online is through cards like Kuzan, Suru, Tashigi, Hina, and Helmeppo. I did see some Tashigis, but 3 costs for -2, guys. When I have cards that are like 2 costs that can -3 or 3 costs that can -4, this is a 2K counter at the end of the day. That's really what this is, and you can use it for its effect if you absolutely must, or if you absolutely have to. Laboon would be kind of decent in here. It'd be kind of interesting instead of Kuzan. I don't think you have to go Navy. I'm not saying you absolutely have to go Navy, but I do think this package is very strong, because it's kind of based around the Sakazuki package, right? Where it's like, okay, I'm going to use Brand New to trash cards and then get cards to my hand that I need that have like cost reduction or blockers. I'm going to recur it back with Gecko Moria and Rebecca. It all kind of just goes together, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's about it. Well, guys, I'm not going to ramble on for too long today. Today was supposed to be a shorter video anyway. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you've not already. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, please put them down in the comment section below. Let me go ahead and put up the playmat page here. I just want to give a big shout out to everybody who supports the channel. I still get people ordering the mat. I've still got probably about 45 or 50 left of them. We're still doing pretty good on the mats. What was I going to say? Oh, the mats are doing good, and then also the patron page. Sorry, I had to I don't know what else. My mind went blank, and now I'm stuttering. So anyway, the VV Pirates patrons page. Another person hopped on last night. Sleeper, thank you so much. Oh, and that's what I was going to say. Sorry, guys, I got totally sidetracked. Big shout out to Miles who got a mat recently, and then for the patron page, big shout out to Sleeper who also got added to the list. Thank you guys so much for helping me out. I appreciate you guys for everything y'all are doing. Anybody who's just liking the channel, watching it, subscribing, sharing, commenting, any of that stuff. If you're doing that, you're helping the channel out, and I really appreciate you. All right, I'm done, guys. I'm a mess right now, just stuttering all over the place. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, subscribe. Until next time, guys. Peace.